just from a surgery from my neck, I know there's about 6 or 7 secondaries just because of what I know about secondaries. So I wanted to share that with you. And, don't discount anything about secondaries. If your neck is causing you to be depressed, or all of a sudden you got migraines, or all of a sudden you're blowing mud all over the place, or whatever, all of a sudden some other weird part in your body and your other side starts acting up, look into it and see if it's a secondary. If it is, you want to get a doctor to create a nexus for you. Many veterans suffer from service-connected neck and shoulder and back conditions, They can affect your back, hips, knees, ankles, feet, arms, mental health, all sorts of things. One common secondary is radiculopathy. What I was describing, I believe, I'm not a doctor or a lawyer, but I believe I have neuropathy. I believe it's peripheral neuropathy, but it could be radiculopathy. As a result of my neck, I have pinching, and numbness in my fingers. Doesn't hurt, but it's annoying and it's numb. In my lower back, I get radiculopathy, that pain down I can't even bend over and put socks on when that's, flared up. So I have to get these big ass epidural shots in my back every year and a half or so. So to keep that at bay. So radiculopathy is a good solid one. Peripheral neuropathy is another good one. And those make sense, right? You have problems with your cervical, thoracic, or lumbar. And then all of a sudden you just have shooting pain down one or both of your legs, or shooting pain and numbness and tingling down your arms into your fingers. If we look at 38 CFR Part 4, the schedule for rating disabilities, here's a couple diagnostic codes that would apply. Diagnostic code 5237, lumbosacral or cervical strain. This is a generic label for back pain. Diagnostic code 5238, spinal stenosis. The spinal column narrows and presses on the spinal cord or the nerves. Diagnostic code 5239, spondylolisthesis or segmental instability, when a vertebrae slips out of position. I know a couple of people that have this, stuff slips out and they need a chiropractor to put them back in. There's a diagnostic code for that. Diagnostic code 5240, ankylosing spondylitis, an arthritic disease that causes the spinal joints to freeze in place. Really need to get an MRI to get these things checked out, obviously. Diagnostic code 5241, spinal fusion. The vertebrae are surgically fused together. That's what happened to me. Also, the vertebrae can fuse themselves together, whether you like it or not. That also happens. When you have damage to your vertebrae, they can fuse themselves together. So that's another diagnostic code. Diagnostic code 5235, vertebral fracture or dislocation. The bones of the spine break or slip out of alignment due to a traumatic event like a car accident or something like that. Probably skateboarding too. Any generic spinal bone injury would be coded here. I've got quite a few more diagnostic codes available for you in my boot camp. I provide 2 live sessions per month. And if you want to talk to me directly, like face-to-face over the Zoom meeting, you could do that. And then I also provide everybody in boot camp with an email address if you don't want to, talk to me in the YouTube comments. I try to do my best, but obviously I'm one person in the YouTube comments. So combatcraig.com. So these 6 neck and back conditions can often lead to pinched or damaged nerve roots, and that could cause significant pain. That's known as radiculopathy. Radiculopathy is commonly rated as a secondary VA claim, as a secondary service connection due to one or more service-connected neck, shoulder, back condition. So this is where the secondaries come in, right? You're already service-connected for your neck, and it's service-connected, whatever the rating is. If you develop radiculopathy or peripheral neuropathy, you could file a secondary claim to your neck and say, hey, I have radiculopathy running down my left leg. It's caused by my neck. It's logical. it makes sense to you. You're going to need a diagnosis of radiculopathy. You're going to need symptoms, like when it flares up and you can't even bend over and put your socks on. And then you're going to need a nexus. You're going to need a doctor to describe that your radiculopathy is due to your neck, and it's on a at least as likely as not basis, which means there's a 50-50 chance. That's all veterans need. That strategy, that's my boot camp. That's what I talk about. I preach it and I teach it. You need a doctor that can help you with a nexus letter. Check out my med team. Here's an email address. Hit them up. Tell them you need a nexus.